What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos, and welcome to a new jam-packed episode of Take It to the Table. You know who I'm here with, the regular guest here, Soul and Ignacio. How you doing today, gentlemen?
Oh, we're very well. Clash of the Castles in what, 7 days now-ish? A weekish?
Just over 7 days. Yep. So don't worry, we're gonna be getting into that, and gonna give you all the information that we're gonna be doing in terms of coverage for that event. But yeah, today we've got a jam-packed episode. Uh, from everything AEW related to stuff that's happening in WWE. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the backstage madness that's been happening in AEW. How is that affecting what's happening on screen? Also, with Soul, also going to be doing a little bit of fantasy booking of a big AEW star. We'll get into that later. He's also going to he's going to be delving into stuff about regarding dirt sheets and what he thinks of them. And Ignacio, when it comes to Ignacio's turn of shooting, he's going to be talking about why of his thoughts on what people think Reigns is the GOAT, the head of the table, and what way he thinks of those kind of people that thinks that that's the case, as well as how he thinks that.
Debatable.
Say again?
Debatable. Fucking
Yeah.
debatable.
And of course, and then we're going to finish it up as well with Ignacio talking about the way he thinks of the new regime in WWE and how certain people are not necessarily don't think they're going to be the returns are not going to be really the needle movers, as that's another term that Reigns has been saying as well. He's the needle mover. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So like I said, jam-packed episode. Without further ado, let us take it to the table. Oh yeah, SmackDown Fist, all that shit. All right, cool. Right, so yeah, we got to talk about I think the main thing that's on everyone's tongues right now is what's happening in AEW, both on screen and backstage. With reports from Dave Meltzer, your best friend, and of course Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select. Well, where do we begin? Okay, so obviously in terms of the backstage, there's obviously talk about people getting suspended. There's Thunder Rosa having beef with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. There's obviously the madness going on with CM Punk with the title as well, him threatening to walk out, and when he did that promo on his own the week prior, shooting that Hangman Adam Page.
There's Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston as well. With more footage about coming out with Eddie Kingston blatantly saying he can't stand Sammy Guevara, and he was, him, he's one of the realest of the reals in wrestling. And obviously all the craziness is going on with Kenny Omega as well. Just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on, obviously when AEW was first founded, and at the beginning it was like the promised land, if you will. Everyone was that was in WWE was this. They were pretty much just looking over the fence and saw all the happiness and joy that's happening in AEW, and they said, "Oh, I want to go there." Now it feels like the tables have turned, as in all this madness is happening. Conan has also come out saying that people are unhappy with the way they're being booked, and it's just absolutely backstage. So I'm just wanted to gauge your guys' thoughts on, is this the beginning of the end of AEW? Is the inmate probably trying to do a WCW and run the asylum? Just wanted to gauge your thoughts on what's your thoughts with all these notes of all these news unraveling.
Fucking hell, saying AEW is over, what, a couple of shit comes out and now everyone's thinking, it's the apocalypse, pack it up, boys. It was good last year. Fuck this. What a shite, Jesus Christ.
But everyone's just quick to jump on AEW's neck whenever anything goes
everything
down.
Literally, the whole shit was coming out about Punk. I find it weird that Punk was gone for nearly 6 months, not 6 months, maybe a couple months, 5-ish, 4-ish,
something like that. Yeah,
and nothing about him dirt sheet wise or being negative or wanting to walk out come out. He's back for 1 fucking week, and now it's he's done. He wants to quit. He hates the thing. He's this and this. Fuck this. He's gonna walk out. It's seriously, for fuck's sake, come on.
Yeah, it's crazy how everyone's just turned on everything. But
what's every dude, it's peaks and valleys. Every company has that. The WWE's been around for what, 60 years, 70 years, 60 years. Dude, it's just it's all peaks and valleys. You got, first the culture's good, then it's bad. People don't like the way things were run before. They like the way things are run now. It's kind of like now, like with in WWE now, how you say that the tables have turned or they're flipped. Some people like what Triple H is doing now. Some people like what Vince was doing. I think they're fucking crazy. But I mean, you have people that like things the way they were run before, the way they were run now. Some guys don't want to have anything to do with anything over there. So there's a little conflict in AEW right now. I think some stories are kind of being blown like a little bit out of proportion on both sides, because there's some stories that are coming out in WWE also. But I think in my opinion, there's some stuff that's getting like blown out of proportion. Like I'll start with the Thunder Rosa thing. Let me start with, dude, you're telling me that Thunder Rosa, a fucking trained MMA fighter, is going to hide in a bathroom from Jamie Yater? Dude, that story was so ridiculous. It's just, I was fucking floored. I'm sorry. I want you to post these on Instagram, Chaos. I'm trying not to cuss so much, all right? So you don't have to do all the editing. But dude,
I appreciate that.
That's just so ridiculous, dude. I'm more than positive that there is heat between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. I think it's probably at a professional level. They just want to be the top person in that, and they want to be the face of that division. And there's nothing wrong with that. It happened with Rock and Austin. It happened with Triple H and Rock. Professional jealousy. Now, has it spilled over to something personal and behind the scenes where they're sniping at each other? Well, then Tony Khan needs to get a hold of that. I know the AEW marks. Wait for it, Chaos, and Soul. Wait for it. Tony Khan doesn't know how to run a wrestling company yet.
Ooh.
And that's okay because it's only been 3 years, dude. Give this guy a chance. Give these people a chance, all right? Booking is one thing.
You're like a father who's went to his son. It's like you're riding a bike and he falls off. It's like, don't worry, son. You'll get it. You'll get off the stabilizer soon enough. You can ride that bike.
I hope. I don't want AEW to die. I'd like AEW. I think that they have a lot of potential. I mean, I question their booking this year, but okay, they had a bad year in my opinion so far. But they still have a lot of potential. I think they got too many guys on the rosters, and I'm not going to get into that. Blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean, they're only 3 years old. I mean, they're still a young company. If they keep on going the way they're going, they're going to be out of business in 2 years. But it's just all Tony Khan needs to do is just get a handle on all the backstage bullshit and just stop it from spilling over on the TV show.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I agree. Yeah, I totally understand that. Totally okay where you're coming from. I mean, well, let's also talk about what's going on screen as well. In terms of with the world title thing situation going on.
God, that was a shocker and a half, eh?
That wasn't it? So obviously everyone knows that CM Punk came back and they brawled last week, and then all of a sudden it was announced on Dynamite that it was going to be Punk and Moxley on free TV. Obviously the marks and everyone online was just obviously having an uproar. Are we getting us on free TV? This is mad. Like, is this a sign of Punk leaving? Is he going to job out? All that kind of stuff. Then the match happened. If you want to call it a match, I think the entrances were much longer than the actual match. But yeah, Mox completely obliterated Punk. Obviously he hit a roundhouse kick, and obviously I think he put too much pressure on his other leg, and he was crying in pain. 2 Death Riders did the hammer anvil thing. That was it, done. And yeah, Punk was obviously limped out. Mox is now your undisputed champion. Now, obviously, now there's still reports that it's still going to be Mox and CM Punk at All Out. How they're going to pull that off with 4 days before the pay-per-view, I have no freaking clue. Especially the way they made out is that he's probably he's still injured. What's your thoughts on how is the book? Are you worried about what's happening at All Out? Is it going to somehow end up somehow MJF someone coming into play? Like, what's your
It's always
thoughts?
just MJF stuff. MJ fucking F. It's always going back to MJF. I mean, come on, people. There's people saying like MJF's going to appear on Dynamite this week and interrupt the match. It's like, shut up, you pillocks.
I mean, but I mean, like, obviously, look, let's be honest. The MJF thing has obviously died down a lot. Like, the heat is kind of gone, especially from the Epic, his version of the pipe bomb. Mm-hmm. So, obviously, whatever move MJF does next is going to be massive. But, like, obviously, now with the status of what's happening with the world title, how can you see this actually happening without it seeming ridiculous or, you know, like...
Okay, if you want me to go into pure hypothetical here, it kind of goes into my Punk turning heel thing, so it'll be a bit of a spoiler if you want that shit, but...
Fair enough. Don't hold the horses then. We don't want to get into that then. Fair enough.
Okay. Well, I will say this though. I think Punk's like doing a heel turn right now. I honestly think he is. If you look at them, like, if you think Punk was going to walk out, do you honestly think he would like do it in that kind of fashion and like do like a whole thing? Like, there's a whole thing going to be on Rampage tonight about like backstage interview with Punk after this incident, and like Tony Khan's tweeted it personally and everything. If you look at the whole thing, he's got Ace Steel, who is his trainer and like longtime friend, comes out to the ring as well, and he whispers in his ear, looks at the crowd tearfully. I think I think this is planned. Obviously, I don't think he's still injured or he's gonna go away. I think we're seeing something here.
Something is afoot.
Definitely. I think it's definitely a work. Same as how I feel with Kenny Omega and his situation. You know, when he made his comeback match, the way even everyone saw on TV like he wasn't himself. This week on Dynamite, he's all still taped up, but he still wants to go. Like, so, you know, he's one of them two are like one of the greatest people to work people on the internet and fans. So,
we're gonna get Kenny and Ospreay like on Dynamite next week. So I mean, that's gonna be
please. When I saw that, I want to fucking please, 100%.
Dude, all these dude, the All Out pay-per-view card, dude, it's troubling. I mean,
you think
come
so?
on, man. Absolutely, dude. This Moxley.
Yeah, let's pull up the card right now. We're gonna.
I'm doing it right now as we speak, bro.
Dude, Moxley is garbage, bro. Moxley is just garbage. It's just, dude. This guy, Tony Khan, puts all his, and I don't know what he plans on doing at the pay-per-view, but they're gonna have to do a lot to get me vested and interested in this main event picture, and anything short of like CM Punk doing a good heel turn is just gonna turn me off, dude, because Moxley is garbage, dude. Tony Khan puts all his trust in a guy that next week, or when is it, 2 weeks from now, Moxley's gonna wrestle in front of 50 people in a barn for fucking GCW again. Dude, you wouldn't see like Roman Reigns or even Drew McIntyre or fucking Bobby Lashley like doing that shit. I mean, that's silly, dude. That's ridiculous. CM Punk doesn't do that. Let's stick with AEW. CM Punk wouldn't do that. Danielson wouldn't fucking do that. Claudio wouldn't do that. Dude, this guy's a joke. He's ridiculous. He doesn't belong on TV. He shouldn't be involved with anything with this company or probably the wrestling business. He's an embarrassment.
Wow. All right, man-child. You shush now. The adults are looking at the info right now.
This guy is the biggest embarrassment in the business right now. It's horrible.
Okay.
I mean, you're talking shite, but I mean, let's continue. Looking at the card right now, I mean, there's a lot of those matches I'm actually really happy to see and think will be great. I mean, start off Ricky Starks and Powers Hobbs. I think that's going to be great. That's going to be a banger. Jungle Boy and Christian, banger.
Yeah.
Shush. I mean, Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. I mean, I like the Acclaimed. I really love the Acclaimed. I don't like Keith Lee and Swerve.
It's just Swerve and Keith Lee. Keith Lee is just so bad. Anything, he's got the Midas touch of shit. Anything he touches turns to shit. It's just keep going. Come on. What
you need to get those fucking glasses, mate, because I think your eyesight's gone to shit. The casino ladder match.
That should be interesting. I don't know that's so random, but I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it.
Well, they got it every year, right?
Yeah, but it's weird that they haven't announced anyone for it. It's weird that they haven't announced anyone for it yet. So
anybody who wins it doesn't win anything. So
Well, we're going to change that. Who knows this year? Maybe.
Oh,
I mean, the women's 4-way match. Why are you doing another interim? They've just had an interim. They should just strip it, honestly, at this point, because it's just like WWE's known for vacant, AEW's known for vacant, and for interim.
Yeah,
that's what they're known for now. I mean, Tony's out of the 4 women there. I want to see Jamie Hayter win it.
it's most likely going to be Toni Storm. I think she was originally meant to win it anyway, so it's somehow going to end up on her.
I just want Hayter because I think Hayter's a fucking boss, and we'll.
Oh yeah. I prefer Hayter more than Toni Storm, to be honest. But yeah.
And then Wardlow, FTR, Lethal, and the Motor City Machine Guns.
That was a nice surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah.
I'm just ashamed that the TNT title's not on a pay-per-view card again.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like the TNT title is kind of starting to be like the Intercontinental Championship. It's being defended on weekly TV or if anything, Rampage. But when it comes to pay-per-view, it's like they just don't bother with it.
I'm surprised there's no TBS championship yet.
I think that's why I think that something we got regarding Jade Cargill is probably going to involve that because she's meant to be speaking on Rampage tonight. So they may put her a last minute. But yeah, I'm worried about the TBS championship because
I'll say this: nothing can top All Out last year. I mean, you had CM Punk's return match, you had the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks in the awesome cage match where the Lucha Bros were in. The only weak match out of that card was probably maybe the Women's Casino Royale. I know Paul White and QT Marshall were on it, but that was just a wee fun break match before the main event. Then you have Bryan and Cole. Nothing can top that. I mean, when you set the bar so high, you can't jump to reach it.
Yeah,
you got to sometimes.
Okay, so let me just quickly go over a couple of these matches. So the first one you said was Starks and Hobbs, which I like both guys. But which one's going over and which one are you trying to get over?
Starks.
I mean, both of these guys are trying to. Well, what I'm trying to get at is both these guys should be working with guys that are at either the top of the mid card or some top guys to try to get them over, not each other because they're still at the same level. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then you got Christian Cage, who's going to teach a Jungle Boy how to wrestle because the guy can't cut a promo. The guy hasn't gotten any better in the past 3 years, so we'll see how that goes. I haven't totally given up on Jungle Boy, but if he shits the bed here in this pay-per-view, then I'm totally giving him up on it.
It can't be that bad. It's one of the 4 pillars.
Yeah, exactly, man. Jesus Christ, you really need to get those glasses.
It can't be that bad,
dude. I'd replace Jungle Boy and those pillars with Britt Baker or fucking Thunder Rosa or something. But anyway,
fair enough.
Or MJF or whatever. But I mean, so then we got the Casino Battle Royal. Doesn't mean it or a ladder match, which doesn't matter because whoever wins it never wins anything, and they never get over. Then we got the trios match, not the trios match for the titles, but another trios match on the same pay-per-view. Dude, Wardlow, the TNT title was meant to be like a television title, which back in the day, the television title had to be defended on TV like at least once a week on one of the shows. That's the way it was before. But since Wardlow, he's still agreeing himself, he can't be on TV all the time. I mean, he needs work in. But I mean, I think putting him on TV all the time is going to expose him and expose what he can't do, like Goldberg, for example. What happened with him? So, dude,
but he's kind of over though.
He's over, but I mean, dude, he's over. But I mean, to make him a workhorse, which with that title was supposed to be put on a workhorse, the TNT title. You can't do it that way. I don't have a problem with him having the title, but they got to find a way to get it over in another way, and he should be defending the title on the pay-per-view, which I'm trying to get at against like a monster heel, maybe like a
Lance Archer or something.
Well, like a Miro, because Lance Archer's an athletic guy, but I think Miro, he's a big guy, a little bit smaller in stature, and he's more athletic than Archer. So I think that would have been a better matchup, right? Instead of it's like a big guy, a Rock versus a Rock. Right. And then you got the women's match with why do we got to do a 4 fucking way? You guys know how I feel about 4-way matches. I like all the people in this match. I like them all, and I actually agree with Saul if they want to kind of shake things up a little bit. But the only thing, she's been tied to fucking Britt Baker for so long. She's been kind of like the third wheel or pause or whatever. I mean, I guess I would like to see Jamie Hayter win, and maybe there's a story there with Britt Baker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess so. And then you got the main event, which, like I said, Moxley's trash. I'm not too excited about it. It's going to take me a lot to get me vested in this main event during the pay-per-view, anything shorter than a CM Punk heel turn, it's going to be a wash. It's going to be ridiculous.
I'm sorry, I have to disagree on that part. But I mean, regarding the trios final, huh?
What?
No,
Mute
I'm just
mute him. Use your powers of the controller. Mute the boy.
no. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, freedom of speech and all that jazz. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, me personally, I would rather have Punk than Moxley as champion, and we're probably gonna get that eventually, like properly.
Yeah.
Not to say that Moxley is, he's been a workhorse champion. He's been defending it even though it's against a bunch of nobodies. But let's be fair, a majority of the defenses have been against a bunch of nobodies.
Look, and that's another. Well, you know what? I'll get into it later. I'll get into it in my segment. Hold on, go on. I'm sorry, guys.
Fair enough. But yeah, like I just want to see how this whole thing plays out, because right now obviously to us as a general fan, if we don't look into the dirt sheets and stuff, literally everything is kind of not all over the place, but everything is up in the air regarding the world title. So I just want to have a more clear picture. I still have trust in them to make them, because obviously Punk knows what to do. Moxley is obviously, they know what to do, even though he's, you hate him being in GCW and all that stuff. And I'm sorry to say it but somehow MJF has to come into the picture somewhere in between it. Somehow, if they want to, if they want to get any close to how they could top last year's All Out, MJF has to somehow be in there somewhere. He's the next big thing for the company. So they has to somehow.
What you're saying is we should give him Kip Sabian's box and have him sit in the crowd.
Sure. See, that was a bit of a whimper the way they ended that with, like, I'm not no disrespect to Kip Sabian, but I mean, to have that be part of the main event was a bit weird. But anyway, I digress.
I liked it. I like Kip. I think Kip is great, and it's just great to see him back.
Yeah, it's good to see him back. I completely forgot about him, but yeah, I totally get it. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm just obviously just want to have a more constructive, better like ending. If it is going to be Punk against Mox, then yeah, somehow it's most likely
let me bring up something real quick, because I agree with you as far as like one thing that AEW needs to do right now is find a way to bring MJF back. But dude, if they turn CM Punk heel, then that takes away all of MJF's heel heat. Then he's no longer the top heel anymore.
I don't think MJF's going to come back as a heel. I think he's going to come back as a babyface.
Oh, like as a rebel type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be.
I feel like the fans are getting getting that frustrated. Well, they see it as well, and they're going to be like, "Yeah, MJF's right. He's speaking for us. He's now the voice of the voiceless."
Well, then, yeah, I'm all for that. But I mean, then how are they going to book it? Because you got a rookie amateur booker booking all this.
Do you want to, Ignacio? Do you want to finally get the job of your dreams? The big old boy, oh boy, I get to.
I'm open for negotiations. I
mean, if somehow MJF obviously has any input into it, then of course there's even more trust in that it will do well, because obviously MJF knows what he's doing. The guy's gone cold turkey on social media, like that's how invested he is on for this storyline to go through. Like it's completely gone off the grid. So if he does actually have input and they will actually take that on board, then it's gonna be freaking great. It's not like how it's gonna be if it was just Vince and Kevin Dunn and John Laurinaitis booking all the shit, and then you just no one has an input. So now I think the finals for the trios match is going to be on the show. Who do you think is going to be the finals going to be? I think someone said it was Best Friends against House of Black or something. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. That's usually the time.
Dark Order versus House of Black for Rampage tonight, which was taped, and then is it Best Friends and Trustbusters, or has that been done already?
I don't think that's done. I think that'll be next week on Dynamite. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it's that, and then on the other side we've got United Empire versus the Elite.
Yes. Oh no! Correction. Sorry. Trustbusters faced Best Friends, and Best Friends won. So now it's Best Friends against the Dark Order. Yeah.
Or House of Black. So we don't know as of yet. I think the finals is going to be the Elite versus. Shut up. I think it's going to be. I'm going to go with Dark Order.
Okay. I just actually spoiled it for myself. Fuck's sake. So, but yeah. Fair enough.
I think either what's going to happen is Dark Order will somehow win against House of Black, and either someone in the, because I know Uno's in Germany right now for Gamescom, so it's possibly 10 Reynolds and Silver. I think that's who's still there. They'll do that, and then maybe somewhere down the line, one of them will get injured. Let's say Reynolds gets injured, or maybe 10, because actually that kind of works. So one of them gets injured, and then maybe this will be backstage segment on Rampage, like, do you forfeit your spot? And then it's like, you need to find someone to get in the team. And it's like, oh, Uno's still in Gamescom. He's not from Germany. We can't get him in for time. And then camera pans, it's just Hangman sitting there. Like, all right.
There's a bottle of JD.
Business. So then Dark Order with Cowboy beat Best Friends, and we get the Elite with Kenny and the Bucks versus Hangman Page and John Silver and, say, Preston 10 Vance at All Out.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, most likely going to pan out that way.
See, that's how you book shit, Ignacio, not fucking dumb shit like you say.
No, this what. Whenever this trios bullshit comes out, that's usually the time especially when the Elite are on, or the what do they call it? Aussie Open or whatever, the
United Empire
bullshit. That's usually when I get up, get a drink.
There's a toilet break.
Go to the toilet until
you might as well just go home at that
whatever,
point,
and then I come back because we got to make these trios belts, because we got to make the Elite happy, because they don't want to put over FTR or anybody they think is better than them. So we got to give them a belt, because we got to keep them happy. The VP.
Oh, who pissing your
This whole tournament is trash. It's garbage. It doesn't deserve any TV time. I don't think any of these people probably deserve any TV time.
So you didn't enjoy the main event then on Dynamite? What
was the main event? Was it the Elite?
Death Triangle versus United Empire.
That was garbage. I saw the highlights. It's an embarrassment.
You're a donut. You're so stupid. You're so stupid. You're stupid.
See if we cut his arm right now. Do you think instead of blood, it's going to be salt that just comes out of his wound?
Flip, flop, and flies. An embarrassment to the wrestling business. Everybody should be excommunicated from the wrestling business that was involved in this match. I've said that about all these people before.
You said it on every episode. I'll just take it to the table. I just don't get.
We might as well have a fucking soundboard for you at this point. We could just press and it would just do the job.
So what do you think? It's garbage, excommunicated, banned.
Disagreement with the wrestling business. It's all fact.
Fair enough. Right. Fair enough. Like I said, that's your opinion. It is what it is. Fair enough. Me, obviously, obviously, I know when something is a bit too spot festy or something's too over the top. I thought, obviously that match played to everyone's strengths. In my opinion, Will Ospreay killed it. So, but yeah, that's it. At the end of the day, we're getting Kenny Omega versus Ospreay next week, which should be lit. So that should be cool.
Oh God.
So all in all, regarding all the madness that's happening in AEW alone, you guys are especially. Let me ask you, Soul. Do you think like it's still a good sense of positivity? Like you're not worried or anything like that. You think it's still going according to plan? Like the place hasn't burned down yet.
I mean, burned down, no concern. A bit, honestly.
Okay, fair enough. A little bit concerned. I like that.
A little bit like. I want it to work because I love this company and I love what they do and all the performers and everyone behind it. Is it a rough patch? Every company has a rough patch. I'm sure everyone can relate here. When you go to work, there's not going to be people you get along with. There's just going to be people you look at and be like, can you please jump in a fire and fucking die by the end of the shift? It happens. It's work. Some people see it as they go there to make friends and make an environment, and some people see it as I'm going there to do a job and I go home and that's it.
Mm. Yeah, no, that's fair play.
But it's like, Aaron, and just one more thing on the Kinks. You mentioned the Kingston and Sammy thing, right? I'm pretty sure Sammy's I've been watching Sammy wrestle for a long time in the Indies and stuff. He made the rounds here in Texas a lot, but I mean, dude, it's just like he's still young. He's like 24 or something like that? He's still a young little turd. Like he's got a lot to learn. But dude, Kingston's been in the business for like over 20 years. Like he's a 40-year-old, 40-year-old veteran. Like he should know that Sammy's gonna be a little shit. You know what I mean? It's just like this guy's I'm not trying to give Sammy a pass because I do think his attitude professionally has changed dramatically ever since being with Jericho. Of course, Jericho, again, another person who has the Midas touch of shit. But dude, it's just like he's just immature, and that's it. I think Kingston just needs to realize that Sammy's been associating himself probably with the wrong people. I'm talking about Jericho, and that was it. I think it was blown like way out of proportion, and that's all. But to go to Soul's, what he mentioned was, dude, it's still salvageable. I mean, like I said, every company has peaks and valleys, and they're just going through a rough patch right now. It's not that they can't recover. If the booker can learn how to book and learn how to manage his company, then they're going to be fine.
Two questions I want to obviously give out to regarding your best friend Jericho. Obviously, he's booked to be facing Bryan Danielson at All Out. And then also on top of that, there's also rumors that WWE wants him back. And he's even mentioned it on he tweeted about it, saying apparently the certain higher ups do want him to have a faction with him, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, because guess what? They're Canadian. So they're probably going to do an American faction or something. But he said he would like to let that happen, or certain higher ups want that to happen. Wink, wink. #tempering or something I read along those lines. So yeah, just want to get your thoughts. Obviously, do you want to see him in WWE? Do you think he will benefit from there? And also, what do you think? Are you looking forward to the match between Danielson and Jericho?
No, dude, Jericho doesn't belong anywhere. If anybody's toxic in AEW, everybody talks about CM Punk being toxic. Jericho's been a poison in AEW for the past 18 months, maybe 2 years, ever since he dropped the title to Moxley. He's the real poison. He's the real toxic individual that's spreading all his bullshit around everybody he touches. Sammy Guevara, Santana Ortiz don't like each other anymore. Big part of probably because of Jericho. MJF didn't care to work with him. It came out that Kingston doesn't want to work with him. Dude, how many people have to say we don't want to work with this guy before they get rid of him? Then they realize that he's the real poison, that he's the toxic person. And as far what higher ups in WWE want to see Jericho pack? The janitor? Because I don't think Triple H wants to have anything to do with them other than maybe a Hall of Fame induction and maybe one last match. I can see that because Jericho at one point was a big star in the business, was, a top guy for a little while, or a long while, and was a great talent, but he hasn't been for the past 24 months, 2 to 3 years. He's trash, dude. He's toxic. He's the most toxic individual in wrestling right now.
I just wanted to. I knew you was going to explode. That's why I pretty much mentioned it, just to get your rant. So yeah, that's fine. What about you, Saul? Are you looking forward to Jericho versus Danielson?
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're gonna finish up on there then. So yeah, obviously leave your thoughts in the comments below what you think about All Out and all the madness that's been happening on screen, backstage, and the pay-per-view. We would love to hear your thoughts, and yeah, please go easy on Ignacio, please.
Just block him. Block him for a week or whatever.
Oh, all right, cool. Staying on the AEW side of things, let's just stick with it. We got a little fantasy booking, if you will. So yeah, so you look like you say you want to, you think you have the perfect storyline that could possibly what would be the best way to turn CM Punk heel? So
a little pressure there. Shit, Jesus, I better names out of the park or I'm fucked.
Come on. You're that guy. What's it? Adam from not What Culture, Parts from No. There you go. How would Soul
Adam
book?
Blumpier.
Fuck that guy.
That's Adam Blumpier. That's the one. Yeah.
All right, gather around, boys and girls, for it's a story time. Once upon a time. Oh, I mean, I was just gonna actually just slag Ignacio for 20 seconds, but I mean, we'll avoid that part.
What the fuck?
Man-child. There we go. Right. Sit down in the back. No disturbance. Sit there and just fucking, I don't know, eat your pretzels or something like that. We're going into story time now. So we start off on Rampage tonight. everything's going as planned, and then it goes into a segment with CM Punk. Now, apparently, this segment wasn't aired for the crowd at Rampage, so this is going to be first time seeing for everybody tonight live. Live as we watch Rampage. So it opens up. Maybe Tony Schiavone is walking back, and all he hears is just screaming, shouting, and just cursing. Opens the door, and you just see CM Punk battering his foot, like punching it. Ace Steel is there, just wondering, like, what the hell are you doing, buddy? What the hell are you doing? He's just cursing himself out. Schiavone tries to interview him. Punk takes the mic and just throws it back at Schiavone and just tells him basically to F off. And we actually get a bleep here. So it seems like, oh, okay. Closes there. Schiavone's like, that's it. Goes there. Wednesday and Friday of All Out week, Punk doesn't appear in the show. We're announced on a Wednesday that the main event of All Out will be the winner of the Casino ladder match facing Moxley for the title in the main event.
Ooh, I didn't think of that.
Right. Things go around. We get to All Out. All the cards great. Bryan Danielson and Jericho have this match of the night. Fuck you, Inacio. Then we get to the Casino ladder match. And it's basically just obviously it's just a short time of build. Maybe let's just say the announcement. So I'll just say maybe it's Ethan Page, Luchasaurus, Scorpio Sky coming back with injury. Kip Sabian could be in there as well. And let's just throw in fucking think. Let's just throw in Pac. Just say Pac thrown in. It doesn't matter about these. It doesn't really matter about the guys. It's the Joker we want.
Yeah.
The Joker comes out and it's MJF.
Okay.
MJF is the Joker of the Casino ladder match, and MJF goes on to win the Casino ladder match.
Okay.
Wins it. Main event comes. It's Moxley versus MJF for the AEW title. Match goes fine. And Punk comes out. Crowd pop while the match is going on. But Punk just wanders around, hands on his hips, just watching as everything's going on. He's just thinking there. Match continues. MJF has his diamond ring. He tries to put it on, but he gets knocked and it flies out the ring. Punk picks it up, looks at it, and chucks it to MJF. MJF takes the ring. We distraction ref bump. Bangs Moxley. MJF pins Moxley to become the AEW World Champion. MJF comes out the ring, looks at Punk, smiles, and they shake hands. Punk and MJF leave Chicago to a chorus of fucking boos and traitor chants. We open up on the next Dynamite, opens up with MJF and Punk coming out. But MJF comes out with his theme, but Punk comes out in a suit and tie, clean shaved, slick back hair to Misery Cantata, his old Ring of Honor theme.
Wow.
Goes out and stands with MJF in the ring. MJF looks smug. Punk's pick up the mics and says, MJF feels that he's too good and too proud to speak to you, so I will speak for him. He is your new champion. Accept him and acknowledge him as the champ. And you'll no longer call me CM Punk, for I am corporate man Punk. Just looks at MJF and they just leave. That's it. And things go awry, and basically heel Punk is sort of like the Paul Heyman to Punk in the old times from 2013. Sort of like his advisor, just basically trying to do the best for MJF, getting him the best spots, trying to get him the best like position, merchandise. And he could be like, I could, if we, basically people can be like, well, why would like anyone like want to see this? Why couldn't like someone come and screw him? Or it's like, but Punk goes to be, he's like, I could leave. I'll just leave. If you try and screw MJF, I will leave. Your viewership will go down. Your merchandise sales will tank. No one will watch the product because they're here for me. I am the draw. Understand that. And it would then go down the line when you need Punk back as a face. What you would basically do is, or you could have MJF be a babyface in the situation. Is basically it seems like Punk is basically battering up MJF. It's sort of similar to Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. He's battering up because Punk knows he can beat him, so he's just basically fattening up the turkey for the harvest.
Right.
And then it could be Punk and MJF at All Out 2, next year's All Out, or maybe even Double or Nothing for the title. And then we finally get Punk's championship reign with broken foot minus.
Okay.
That's how you fucking look it, dickhead. Fucking understand this shit.
No, that was pretty solid. What threw me off was the when you said call me corporate man Punk, because it made immediately, as you said that, immediately I thought of Corporate Kane, and I was just like, that wasn't great at all.
He could just, dude, at that point he could just use his real name. Then that would work. I mean, it's not the
Brooks.
worst. It's definitely not, it's not the worst idea, but it's just like, I don't think CM Punk's. I'm not talking CM Punk. He's a selfish guy, not as selfish as Jericho. But I mean, just like, I don't think CM Punk would be willing to try to get like MJF over. Like, I still think CM Punk to a point is just worried about getting himself over, which is fine, which is cool, right? And along the way he'll put guys over, but I don't think he's that vested in getting like MJF over like that, like over the mountain over. Like, I still think CM Punk is like, I want to get myself over first.
I think
nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. I mean, hey, everything's got holes in it, you know.
Yeah,
nothing's.
Yeah,
it's not the worst idea. It's not.
I liked it. I can definitely imagine, especially going into All Out. I didn't really think about. I think maybe that is the reason why they haven't announced any participants yet for the Casino Battle Royale. Like, because it's so open, it's most likely Moxley will be on the pay-per-view. The winner of this Battle Royale will definitely go and will face him in the main event. That's definitely a good way to bring in an MJF, and then Punk somehow interfering at the So it's almost like the irony kind of thing. So, because that's what happened with the ring with MJ when it was a dark collar match, isn't it? So and it's all about long-term storytelling. AEW is all about that. So I'm liking it, definitely. The corporate, I can't imagine him being in a suit. I absolutely cannot. Like, it was just like when Kevin Owens tried to do the Face of America thing. That was freaking weird.
Imagine it though. Punk comes out in a proper like 3-piece suit.
That would be so weird. I genuinely think I haven't seen it. I don't think I've seen any of his wedding photos, but I totally imagine he came in his in his tracksuit and some
comes out in the long boys and it's like, shit, here we go.
Yeah, it's weird, but I'm here for it. I much prefer him be called Mr. Brooks, or call me Phil or whatever. I don't know. There's not corporate man Punk. That is too sports entertaining. But yeah, no, very, very, very strong. I like it. I very, very like it. I would like to see what people say on the Instagram post regarding this for sure. Definitely, I'm really feeling that. Obviously, let me know your thoughts in the comments of what you think of and how would you book CM Punk's heel turn? Because I think that was pretty solid. Definitely. All right, so moving swiftly on, Ignacio.
Yeah,
you basically came across a certain post that someone posted basically it was of Kenny Omega and Roman Reigns, and it had each other's stats.
Correct.
But they obviously with Kenny Omega, they basically said that he was the most overrated, not even top 20 wrestler of all time. So let me just go through the accolades of Kenny Omega.
Please do.
So Kenny Omega, 20 total world championships won, 16 5-star matches, has over 20 plus wrestling moves. I'm pretty sure that's ain't that the minimum for every wrestler? Anyway, if you're not Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan. Average in promos, created his own finisher, 765 days as AAA mega champion. Like that means anything. Was never overpushed in AEW and lost to big stars like Jericho, Moxley, and Hangman Adam Page. Marks overrated, not even top 20 wrestler of all time. Right. Okay. And then at the bottom of it says Roman Reigns. Now, this was his accolades. 6 total world heavyweight championships won. Never had a 5-star match. Only has 4 wrestling moves. Spear, Superman punch, Samoan drop, and powerbomb. He botches a lot of promos and needed Heyman to do promo work for him. Tried once without Heyman and ended up getting roasted by Seth Rollins. Used the most common finisher in WWE, which is the spear. 721 days as Universal Champion. got his mega over push in 2020 by being the unbeatable champion and buried and ruined a lot of talented wrestlers. Some even got fired. The Marks call him the GOAT. Right. So obviously, your argument is that Kenny Omega is obviously let me just what's your thoughts on that when you saw that? What and then right at the bottom, Soul actually said, "Oh F, here we go." So yeah, what was your thoughts when you saw this post, Ignacio?
Bro.
More adventurous, though.
Bro, you got. First of all, none of these guys, neither of these guys are the GOAT. Anybody who's emerged in the wrestling scene in the past 10 years isn't the GOAT. Like, you got guys that got potential, but they're not the GOAT. All right, like Roman. Well, let me start with Kenny Omega. First of all, dude, I don't care how many moves you have. Like, if you don't lay your shit in, if you don't sell, it all looks like shit. And all of Kenny Omega's shit looks like shit. It's garbage. Like, he's, those bullshit V-trigger knees. Like, dude, this is the thing. It's like Roman. Neither of these guys either. They're not leading a wrestling era. You know what I mean? They're not Austin, Hogan, Rock, Cena, Flair. Like, they're not these guys. So, dude, they're not even the GOAT. They're nowhere near. They don't have nowhere near the ring talent that like a Bret Hart or Bryan Danielson or Kurt Angle have. Right? They're not that larger than life character that any of the other guys I just mentioned are, or Foley or Hunter or whatever. So neither of them the GOAT. It's not what I'm saying that neither of them are the GOAT. But you're going to tell me this is the difference. Here, let me tell you this. I'm pretty sure, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure if you look it up, that Roman Reigns at one point or another has worked in Japan. I mean, through WWE, not New Japan or All Japan or DD whatever wrestling, but he has worked in Japan, right? Kenny Omega came over from Japan, and I know he did some stuff in maybe ROH and all this stuff, but dude, Kenny Omega's fan base is the hardcores and the marks, right? So he came over from Japan to start AEW with the Bucks and Cody or whatever. But the difference is Kenny didn't grow his fan base. He has the same fan base that he had 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever, right? He hasn't grown his fan base since he got here because he's a shitty wrestler, all right? On the other hand, if Roman Reigns were to go to Japan, let's put in perspective, or let's fantasy book if you want to say that. Let's say Roman Reigns went to wrestle Okada or Tanahashi or whoever, dude. Like, Roman Reigns would sell out the Tokyo Dome with any of those guys, and he's never wrestled in Japan before for any of those promotions, right? Kenny Omega couldn't sell out shit here. All right. Kenny Omega doesn't sell tickets, right, to a major arena for a major promotion or anything. That's the difference, right? Like, Reigns can sell out anywhere in the world. And yes, his in-ring work, it's not the greatest, but he can work if he's working with somebody else that's good, right? Kenny Omega, same thing. He can work with somebody when he wants to get serious, like a Bryan Danielson or a Claudio maybe. His matches turn out good or okay. Roman Reigns is on the same boat. If you work with somebody who's good, his matches are going to be good. Sometimes great, but depending on who he works with, right? But as far as character and promos, dude, Reigns is mountains over fucking Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega can't cut a promo. Kenny Omega can't get me invested in his character. Kenny Omega is a parody of a heel. He doesn't play a heel. Roman Reigns is a true, like, old school heel right now. You know, playing with the bloodline. Did he have trouble with his promos? Absolutely. Roman Reigns prior to Paul Heyman.
He was terrible.
He was terrible, right?
He was terrible.
So what's the problem with putting a mouthpiece on him and learning from Paul Heyman, right? So he can get better at his promos. And guess what? He's a good promo now. He's probably the second best promo on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I'll probably say, okay, let's not count Paul Heyman, right? Because Heyman's next level. He's probably the second best promo on SmackDown right now, other than Sami Zayn, right? So Kenny Omega never learned how to cut a promo. Doesn't matter what mouthpiece you put with him because he's not going to learn, because he doesn't want to learn, because he thinks he's the greatest in the world, because he's fucking trash, right? That's what I was trying to get at by submitting that post to you. It's not that I don't think that Roman is trash or the GOAT. Neither of these guys are the GOAT. But from a mainstream perspective, character-wise, wrestling-wise, who can sell more tickets all over the world? Absolutely, it's Roman Reigns, not Kenny Omega, dude. Kenny Omega is garbage.
All right. I wouldn't say that. God damn it.
Break it down.
Right.
Break down what I said piece by piece, and what do you agree with and not agree with Chaos, because you're the only reasonable person on this show.
Whoa, what
oh
the
my
fuck
gosh.
is this bullshit?
Fired. Look, all right, keep the peace. Now, I agree that they are both not the GOAT. I agree that they're not both the GOAT, but it doesn't say that. I'm not saying that Kenny Omega's trash either. Now, the reason I think that Reigns would obviously sell more, tickets and do much merch is because he's definitely way more marketable. He's got that mainstream look, and that's what he's trying to go for. He wants to be where John Cena was, or is. He wants to be where The Rock is. Them kind of people where he wants to build himself as a brand. Hence why, if he actually did ever do a New Japan show or anything, it would sell out just like that. Kenny Omega is just simply for the purists. Like he's for like the actual like people, hardcore wrestling people. If you don't know, like people know Roman Reigns outside of wrestling because he's been in Fast and Furious. He does stuff on Nickelodeon and all that stuff. Kenny Omega doesn't do that shit. So hence why, he probably won't get the same response in terms of ticket sales and merch than what Roman Reigns would get. But it doesn't take away I'm not saying that's saying that he's trash. I mean, he's just, I enjoy a majority of his matches, like the matches he had against Hangman Page. I love the Okada trilogy, even though they had 4 matches, I think. It has so many classic him and Page against the Young Bucks, one of the greatest AEW matches of all time. But I just I see.
Okay.
Go on.
But go finish up. I'm sorry.
No, just obviously, to say that is overrated. I mean, that is only overrated depending on who you talk to. You know what I mean? I think that's what it comes to. Reigns is great in his own right. Omega is great in his own right. To say that they're the GOAT, I disagree with. But I'm not saying that I'm not saying that either one of them was crappy either. So that's what I could say, really. But what was going to say to counter that?
Okay. So my question is okay. So who's the bigger star?
Oh, Reigns, simply because he has a bigger platform as well. Don't forget, WWE is a freaking juggernaut. He's the one that's going on Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, them kind of places. So of course he's a bigger star. Okay, that helps.
Kenny Omega had the same opportunity that Roman Reigns has had to join WWE at one point or another. 16? When
wasn't he in Florida Championship Wrestling as well?
Well,
no, it was an OVW.
I can't remember the timeline when it was, but it was around the time Cody and the Bucks were offered WWE contracts, and that's when they gave Hunter the FU whatever. We're going to do our own deal. When was that? 2018, maybe 17. I can't remember, but so Omega had the same opportunity that the Roman had to join WWE, but I don't know what happened with why he didn't want to join, because in my opinion, he's as goofy of a motherfucker, perfect for what Vince McMahon wanted. Prince prancing around, shitty wrestling, bullshit character, parody of a heel, parody of a wrestler, cosplay wrestler. Dude, that's I mean, I don't know, dude. It's just to say I'll go back to the original topic. Is this says neither of these guys, none of them are the GOAT, dude. They both have accolades and all this stuff, right? I think Reigns is a bigger star, is a better performer as far as mic skills, promo skills, character, yada yada yada. I think his faction is better, the way he's being booked is better, etc. But I mean, it's not like these guys aren't going to shouldn't be on anybody's Mount Rushmore because they haven't led like an era or a movement. So neither of them are the GOAT. That's what I was trying to get at. And that Kenny Omega is trash, but that's extra.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll keep it short and sweet to just not insult the intelligence of everybody here. I think that Roman Reigns is the bigger celebrity, but Kenny's the bigger wrestler or better wrestler.
There you go. I can agree with that. Definitely. So celebrity status, 100%. In terms of wrestling and wrestling moves and oh my god moments, 100% Kenny Omega. Surely. That's undisputed. Do you have anything on top of that, Soul? Or you fine with that?
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, you just gotta agree to disagree, really. But to say that either one of them is a GOAT is totally I think they still can do a lot more. They still have a lot to offer and still can do a lot more to be considered that. To say that they are now, right now I don't even know who the GOAT is right now. To be honest, like who would your personal opinion? So, who do you think is the current GOAT right now?
Current GOAT wrestling wise, like right now in the ring, going at it.
Yeah,
Bryan Danielson.
I would agree with that. Ignacio?
Dude, but this is the thing, like with Danielson, I agree with Danielson, but if they let him be like a character, like if they would have went with heel Bryan, like if Danielson would have beat Hangman for the AEW World Championship, dude, he would be like not only the top heel, but the top person like in the business right now. Like as far as like he would be, in my book, considered the GOAT. Man, I just can't see. It's like I said, it's hard to. In the past 10 years, there isn't really anybody that's emerged where I can say, man, that guy can be considered the GOAT. Maybe Danielson would probably be the closest.
Yeah, I guess, definitely. I mean, he does have the full package, and he's been to the mountaintop before, and he was good.
Maybe, the only other person I can think of, and it looks like WWE was Vince McMahon. He had one smart idea, and it looks like they were headed that way. The only other person I can think of, because he is a good wrestler. He is a character. He was born and bred for quote unquote sports entertainment the right way. I think is Cody.
Cody? Yeah, he's on the road. He's on the route to be a GOAT. Yeah.
Maybe, but I mean, it's just it's all booking wise and stuff and stuff like that. But I mean, we'll see. But those probably are the only two that come to mind.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. Fair play.
I want to jump in here right now because obviously we've got Gamescom going in Germany. Chaos, AEW Fight for the Fallen, or Fight Forever.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's confused the fuck out of me. Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Have
you seen any gameplay of it?
Yeah. I've seen those. I saw the full match between, I think it was Adam Cole against Kenny Omega. I'm liking it. I'm definitely going to get it day one. Definitely has that No Mercy WrestleMania 2000 vibes. What I'm worried about is what we can play with in the game. So if it feels like it's very limited, like the customization ain't gonna be that expensive. Entrances are just like, I don't know if you saw that, but it's literally about 5 seconds. I don't think you can create or customize the wrestlers as much. The commentary is very limited. But yeah, what I can see in terms of gameplay wise, it looks good. I'm just worried that I'm gonna, like, dare I say, get bored of it very quickly because there's not much to offer. Like, there's nothing. They haven't said anything about like career mode or how the online is. If we can download wrestlers, the customization. I'm not sure about that, but it's looking solid. It's looking way better than when it first was announced. Like, in terms of characters wise, it looks way less cartoony. Let's just say. But yeah, definitely brought me back to No Mercy vibes in WrestleMania 2000. What about you?
I'm digging it. I do hope there's maybe a option we can maybe make entrances either off, on, or longer or short media.
Yeah,
I like how, like, the intro thing is like, it looks basically like you're watching an episode of Dynamite as it starts in. It's got the flashing up of the Dynamite card. Justin Roberts all there. Like the tutorials, all the trainers. So Regal's there apparently, and like everyone else who's a trainer wise is going to be there.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be solid.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm hoping that the roster is very close to being up to date as well. I know they put Regal in, and he was fairly recent-ish
this year.
This year. So it looks to be fairly recent, but we'll see how up to date it is.
And apparently there's going to be a lot of titles in it as well. So
I hope so. I don't know how they're gonna put in the trios title because that just got released. So I don't know. There might be a
DLC
later
pack?
patch update. So again,
DLC pack maybe.
yeah, probably DLC because I don't think this is gonna be annualized like how 2K is. So
No,
I think
it's different.
they're gonna keep this rolling. But I hope this is definitely a foundation for them to obviously expand it more into like more. It doesn't have to. I don't want it to be like 2K. It doesn't have to be simulated or anything like that.
No.
Still have that. Here comes the pain, arcadey type of feel. But just build up on it more. But I think this is a testing ground to see how it goes, and then they can carry on with it. You don't play video games, do you, Ignacio?
No, dude, I can't because I mean, I got WWE 2K22 for my girlfriend's kid, and like I saw him playing it and it looks cool. So if I jump in there and start playing, and I'm gonna go down like a rabbit hole, I'm not gonna be able to get out of. So,
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, yeah, 2K22 is really good. Very, 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 very good. But yeah, definitely getting it.
Last remnants of NXT UK as well.
yeah.
Say again, sorry?
It'll be the last remnants of NXT UK.
Why would it be? I'm confused. Sorry.
Because NXT UK is getting shut down, moved into Europe, so that'll be.
Oh yeah. Yes. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think it's gonna? And plus, there's obviously the Worlds Collide has also been announced as well, and it's NXT UK champion versus NXT champion, Tyler Bate and Braun Breaker. How do you think that's gonna go down?
Obviously, like all the NXT guys will probably win it.
What?
There's a women's one as well, so Braun will win the wins. Mandy will
Oh,
win
okay.
the
You mean the
wins.
US will win, obviously. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Yeah, there's no way that they're gonna make flipping Tyler Bate be the NXT champion, so which sucks. And who do you think's gonna win UK's one? Well, Mandy Rose. You think Mandy Rose is gonna take it?
I think they'll do it. I feel like I mean it's what Blair Davenport or the current NXT Women's Champion. I can't remember on the top of my head.
No, Michael. It's a Japanese wrestler that's the UK champion, UK Women's Champion.
Yeah, and I think they're in a freeway for it.
Yeah. And this other Blair chick is Brett. She was formerly known as Bria Presley or whatever her name is.
Bea Priestley.
Yeah. So but I don't know if they want to do that because Mandy Rose is running out of competitors. Like she's running out of people. So I don't know if they want to give that to Mandy. I mean, she's had a good run, a very, very good run. So I would be fine with the Bria Presley to win and start afresh. And then Nikita Lyons comes in and takes it. Sorry, Ignacio. But she's gonna be NXT champion. It's gonna happen. Come on. Have you seen the YouTube views? They're tuning in for Nikita Lyons.
You see that Gigi Dolan's appeared on SmackDown, and apparently, like the male demographic was the highest it's been in months.
The YouTube views for who? For Nikita?
The one in Toxic Attraction, the ginger-haired lassie.
Oh. No, I said, Chaos asked, have you seen the YouTube views for Nikita?
Yeah, for Nikita. Yeah, anything of any of their matches or like any time she does a promo, it's pretty high. So that's what I'm saying. Like marketing wise, they're gonna put the title on her. Just simply marketing wise.
It's sad.
Yeah, but sometimes that's Shawn Michaels for you. But yeah, Gigi is she the one that is injured?
Yeah, she's injured.
Yeah. That tournament is completely cursed to hell. It is so bad. But yeah, we move on. All right, next up. So we're going to be talking about. Well, I'm not going to be talking about it. It's going to be Soul is going to be talking about dirt sheets.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered this in the start. Honestly,
have I? Oh,
I mean, when we were talking about AEW, we were talking about just how everything was just everyone just face value, taking it off, and just putting a bunch of shit.
Okay, fair enough. But that's fans though. Like you're talking about like. Would you say also is also journalists also take a hand into it as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you see them like we talked about like the Thunder Rosa hiding in the bathroom story from Jimmy Hayter. I think that's just a bunch of bollocks.
So that's what I want to say. Like, who do you think is worse, fans or journalists? Who do you think is worse?
They're both just a bunch of fickle fucks, aren't they?
I mean, like,
well, it's just like,
go on.
Like I had respect for Dave Meltzer back in the day, and then now he's totally him, that goof fucking Brian Alvarez, and who they got that Denise Salcedo, all those loons over there at the Observer. are so full of shit, dude. Except Mike Sempervive. Mike Sempervive, you're cool. If you ever listen to the show, you're cool. But everybody else, dude, they're all a bunch of loons. Like they get their information second, third hand from a bunch of bitter marks that are within the company and stuff like that. So you got to take everything with a big grain of salt, dude. It's just like the dirt sheets are like the regular media. It's just, you know, it's garbage. You know, it's all National Enquirer, you know, bullshit. You know what I mean? They sensationalize stories, in my opinion, blow things out of proportion. Like I think with this whole thing, like with Thunder Rosa, I think a lot of it probably is just professional jealousy, you know, which is in a healthy way. It's not a big deal. They just both want to be the best. But then there was probably like a confrontation. I'll tell you, you know what? Let me get into another one real quick here. Is the whole deal. There was an issue of WWE contacting AEW talent and asking them about their contracts and if they want to come over. I'm pretty sure you guys heard that one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, Triple H is like too smart to be involved in that kind of corporate bullshit. You know, he knows better. It's like, I bet you anything that happened was because Triple H still has a lot of friends over there, right? Like he has Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby, like he loves those guys. So I'm pretty sure maybe they had a conversation. It went something like, hey man, like, you know, whenever your contract's up, the door's open. And then let's say, for example, I'm not saying this happened, but let's say, for example, he said that to Adam Cole and Adam Cole told somebody from AEW and that person took it the wrong way and be like, oh, you mean Triple H called you? He wants to recruit you right now. Oh, and then that person goes and tells Tony or their attorneys or whatever. I'm pretty sure it was something to that effect that happened because WWE, dude, they've been in the business. Stephanie McMahon knows the ropes. Triple H knows the ropes. Executives there know the ropes. They're too smart to be pulling that bullshit unless they're willing to pay out somebody's contract for the next 5 years. They're not recruiting it from anybody from AEW right now. They're not trying to get anybody over. So that's something that the dirt sheets like Meltzer, Uncle Davey Meltzer, and Brian Alvarez fucking report because they're douchebags.
I mean, I see what you mean. I mean, but it's not too far from the realm of possibility because WCW used to do that a lot back in the day. Like, or you know, they used to talk to other wrestlers, or you know, they told them to like run down your contract, come over here, or do some madness kind of thing. So maybe it's obviously it has happened before during them times when it was the Monday Night Wars and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if legally wise that's all been tightened up for that not to happen. But I'm led to believe probably it's most likely that Triple H kind of said something to someone. It's either maybe they went to someone in management to say that they called them and then they went to TK. There's been talks that some of the wrestlers actually went to TK themselves saying that someone from WWE management contacted them, and that's what led to them to obviously sort to say stop tampering with our talent kind of thing. So nothing's out of the realm of possibility. And then when it comes to that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking because like that's what certain football teams do as well.
Sure.
In the Premier League, you know, they always say like run on your contract. We got a space for you right here. So it's nothing. It's nothing. As long as they didn't try to like hand them a contract, there's nothing wrong with talking, is it? So
do you agree? So you agree that Meltzer, Alvarez, and Salcedo and all them at the Observer are douchebags? I want to get that on record. Will you say they're douchebags?
No.
I mean, I would say no. I just don't care for them. Like my trusted source that's high, that's reputable is Sean Ross. Sean Ross Sapp is for me.
I'll go with Sean Ross or Meltzer, but like Ringside or any of these random pop-up YouTube channels that say have the fucking red circle around the screen. Like, look at that. That's someone who's pissed off. And it's like that. Go fuck off.
Yeah. Them ones I do not care for. But yeah, Sean Ross Sapp is reputable for me. Dave Meltzer, I mean, is very hit and miss. He's very, very hit and miss. Brian Alvarez, I don't really care for him too much, but is whatever. He's just there. But yeah, Sean Ross Sapp for me is the one that's reputable. But yeah, that's fair enough. On that note, okay, so we're coming close to the end of the show, so bear with us. Ignacio, you want to talk about what you're bringing to the table is, of course, what you think of the new change of the guard in WWE, the new WWE regime. But for some reason, you feel like the returns of Johnny Gargano, Hit Row, Karrion Kross, Dexter Loomis, all these people, you feel like all this, even though it's nice for them to see them back, and they all got jobs now, and everything, they're back on the WWE payroll. You feel like they're still not going to move the needle. Is that so? I just wanted to obviously get your thoughts on why you think that, and what could.
Well, real quick, I'll address that with the talent in a minute, but it starts at the top, bro. It starts at the top, and it's with the management, dude. I fell out of my chair when I saw a posting that number one, Jarrett's gone, which Jarrett probably had like the best month of his, I don't know, post full-time wrestling career, if you want to call it that, or whatever. Dude, in one weekend he was on SmackDown. Then the next night he refereed the semi-main, I guess you can call it. I get the tag team match, the best tag team match I've seen in WWE like in 3-4 years or something. And then he did Flair's last match, and then 2 weeks, he gets canned from WWE. Well, I don't know if he got canned, but if he didn't get canned, they made him feel in an environment where he wasn't either welcome or his ideas weren't welcome. Because, dude, why would Jarrett want to all of a sudden leave with Triple H at the helm? I know he was kind of like a Vince McMahon guy. He got hired by Vince when Vince was still in power. But, I mean, dude, why wouldn't Jarrett want a full-time gig at something that he was tailor-made for? He was the executive vice president for live events. He's been in the live event business his whole life. He grew up in the live event business with his grandmother, his father running Memphis, and so forth and so on, and going up around talent, around his father's businesses, not just wrestling. Dude, he's been around his whole entire career. He was tailor-made for that position, and all of a sudden, poof, he's gone. And then who do they bring in to take his place?
Oh, you didn't know?
Road Dogg, dude. Come on, man. I met this guy. He's the nicest guy, dude. One of the nicest guys I've ever met. I'm real big on meet and greets and stuff. Whenever I have a chance to go meet a talent, wrestler, whoever, I always, if I can go, I can go. So I met this guy. He's cool. He's nice, dude. Like, really good guy to talk to, and so forth and so on. And I didn't know he had a podcast. And then I started listening to it. So I listened to the first couple episodes. I'm like, all right, good. Dude, and then he starts expressing his ideas and stuff about like wrestling and the wrestling business, and I was like, this guy's a loon. Like I'm not talking about personally, because he talks about his personal issues that he's had and stuff like that, and that he's a new person now, and I totally believe that, and I'm all for that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm talking about as far as his ideals in wrestling. Dude, this is a guy who thought Breezango and he was one of the brain trust of Stardust. This is a guy where Vince McMahon, his ideas were so wacky that even Vince McMahon turned him down. Dude, this guy has no business being around that company. Like, and I know he has nothing to do with creative with this position, but it just, for him to replace Jarrett was just ridiculous. Like, you can't get Jeff Jarrett to do anything there. Production, talent management, talent relations, on-air talent, nothing. And you bring this goof in. And another one was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels openly came out, and I don't know if Shawn Michaels is trying to take the bullet for the company, but he all comes out and says, yeah, anything having to do in NXT is on me, good or bad. 99% bad, by the way. Dude, that was like the kiss of death for me. That's the kiss of death. Why would you openly admit you had anything to do with NXT for the past, 18 months, 2 years? And they made this guy in charge of talent development and talent relations also, or something like that, or creative. Bro, I hope nothing happens to Triple H. I pray, because he's the filter for these morons that they put in there. Dude, this. And now let's go to the talent real quick. I'll try to make it quick. I understand what probably Triple H is trying to do, bringing more eyes or eyes that left NXT Gold and bring them back to the main roster, because he brought back Gargano, he brought back Hit Row, he brought back Dakota Kai, he brought up Io Shirai, Dexter Lumis. Dude, none of these guys are gonna do anything to progress the company. All right, Gargano, I love him in his in-ring work, but he's there to get Austin Theory over, and he's there to beef up, if you want to say that, if try to make the mid card to upper mid card. He's not going to main event WrestleMania next year, or the year after that, or the year of that, is what I'm trying to say. Right?
Yeah.
Neither is Dexter Lumis, and what they're doing, I know we're not going to get rid of the goofy bullshit right away, but what they're doing with Dexter Lumis is just ridiculous. Right? Hit Row, I can do without them. They don't impress me. I mean, if anybody's going to be a star there, it's going to be Top Dollar. But they got to get him out of
he's a standout. Yeah.
But they need to do something with that character. He comes on Friday night. He's dressed like a goof. He can't sing. I don't know who he's trying to impress, but just Triple H, I guess. But I mean, just do something different with him. And then the only ones who have a chance of, quote unquote, like I said, main eventing WrestleMania, moving the needle, being the next top star or whoever, is Karrion Kross and Scarlett. And a lot of people shit on them, which I don't understand why.
Me neither.
Karrion Kross cut the promo of his life probably on the last SmackDown. I mean, he looks like a star. He acts like a star. He talks like a star. He's a grown-ass man who looks like he could kick your ass. I don't get what's wrong with him. I don't get why people won't get behind this guy, because he's real, you know?
Yeah.
So he's the one who's going to main event and move the needle. And the only person I can think of, which I read earlier today that they're either close to signing or have signed, is Bray Wyatt. So, he's done a good job as far as getting more eyes on the product, and Raw, as of late, has been more palatable. But none of these guys are gonna that I just mentioned, with the exception of Karrion Kross, are really gonna do much for the company, except beef up the mid card, or try to revive the tag team division, if you want to get at that. So, don't expect much out of these guys they brought back. I just don't want people to, well, Johnny Gargano's not getting a WWE. Dude, Johnny Gargano is not getting a shot at the WWE title, or maybe a shot, but he's not going to get a run at it. Don't be disappointed, okay? He's just there to get eyes on the product, to probably do some runs at the U.S. title, maybe Intercontinental title, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see him main event WrestleMania, okay? Lumis, I don't know what they're going to do with him. That's piss poor booking, in my opinion. But I mean, the only one that has potential there to be a true main event star right now is Kross, and potentially Bray Wyatt, of course, if he comes in.
Fair play.
Fair points.
Yeah.
What?
You said fair points. Calm down. Yeah, fair points.
Yeah.
No, but going back to in terms of who they're bringing in next, I mean, obviously, again, my guy, Sean Ross Sapp, he's also just tweeted about an hour ago, saying that a couple of names are set for SmackDown tonight. So there's going to be more returns. Who knows? It may be Bray Wyatt. Now, yeah, like I said, yeah, I agree. There's some fair points regarding the people. That I think the most notable one that's going to be in the main event is going to be Karrion Kross. Johnny Gargano, I think he will definitely be given a chance to be at the Tag Championship. I agree. Even though, as much as I love Johnny Gargano, he's not main roster, but the thing is, obviously, the reason he came back, because he knows, even though he's not main roster like build, he's not going to be set chasing the 24/7 championship. He will be used to his strengths, and probably become the next Intercontinental US champion, and have some crazy matches there, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. I don't need to actually see him be the WWE champion. I'm fine with that. There's a lot to unpack there, but yeah, just to say that like Hit Row and stuff are boring, it's a bit extreme. That's fair enough. I mean, I know it's only 3 or 4 of them there, but that's fair enough. Do I want to see Karrion Kross dethrone Reigns? I don't know. But then again, he's put like I'd rather see him than McIntyre. I'm sorry, Soul, but I'd rather see Karrion Kross dethrone Reigns than McIntyre. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that, Soul? What's your take on that? Do you think there's any more? Do you think there are potential needle movers from the people that they've actually got besides Karrion Kross?
I mean, out of the people they brought back, I mean, I can't see Hit Row just being a jobber squad. I can see Loomis being maybe a mid-carder guy, and Gargano, I think, can maybe someone that could get a main event run, but he'll have a run, and it'll be very dependable if he gets more runs after that.
Right. This is Gargano you're talking about, right?
Yeah, Gargano.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah, like he'll be in the scene. But yeah, I just can't imagine that'll be a huge change of like the mindset of how a main eventer is in the main roster for WWE. So it'd be a huge departure. But then again, Rey Mysterio is Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't really say that.
But yeah, I really think, and I'll just add one more thing because I just came to mind, dude. I just really think it's gonna be all who they want Cody to be for the title. Because the story is, I was gonna say originally that it probably should have been Cody. Then he got hurt, right? But it probably should have been Cody to dethrone Reigns for the title. But it really doesn't have to be Reigns because the story is Cody getting to the title.
Yeah,
what eluded his dad and stuff for so many years, his brother. It's Cody getting to the title. It's not necessarily maybe who has it. It's just getting to the title. So, yeah, I'm with you, Chaos. I'd rather see Cross because I think with Cross, even though it goes against a lot of what I believe in as far as, heel versus heel. But I think with Cross, you can get a really good monster heel run out of him.
100%, 110%. Cool.
Mark the date and time, folks.
Say again?
I said mark the date and time, folks. You guys agree with me for once.
Definitely. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as well. You know the drill, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, before we wrap this up on this show, Clash of the Castle is, like we said at the beginning of the show, it's literally a week from tomorrow. Myself is going to be there. Soul is going to be there. The boss, Ben Allison, is going to be there. Yeah, we're getting more excited by the day regarding it. So it's gonna be good. Hopefully, weather-wise, it should be good. Fingers crossed. But yeah, is there any? I think I may have asked you this already, Soul. But which match are you looking forward to besides the main event?
Sheamus and Gunther.
Sheamus and Gunther, yeah. Big meaty man slapping meat. Definitely. It's gonna be a hoss of a match. I'm just reading some of the notes now, seeing what's been reported. Probably someone is confirmed to not be at the show. Your best friend, Ignacio, Dave Meltzer, claims that while she was originally due to be part of the show, Ronda Rousey will not wrestle at the event or even be there at Cardiff.
Hooray!
So
you're gonna have a match? She didn't even have a match scheduled, did she?
She didn't, but most people are most likely saying that she's going to be by Shayna Baszler's corner. So
thanks, Dave.
So that's that. So we'll see what happens on there.
We're in for a treat that weekend. We've got fucking Clash of the Castle and All Out. Oof.
Clash of the Castle, All Out. Don't forget NXT. They got Worlds Collide as well. NXT. Hey, it's got some good matches on there. Well, I'm more curious about the main event, but yeah, definitely All Out, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff to cover on that weekend alone. So we're just seeing if there's any other matches confirmed. Yeah, so far it's 5.
Maybe something tonight on SmackDown.
Oh yeah, 100%. They need to finalize some stuff. So yeah, me definitely. I want to see Riddle versus Seth. I think that's gonna be good. Flipping. Bailey's team, they got an official tag team name now. They're called Damage Control, but control spelled as CTRL. Damage Control. Okay, I'm all right. That's different.
Okay,
not sure. I'm not really buying that. Damage Control. All right, whatever. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. That's good. We're gonna do probably do a also before that event, we're gonna be doing a like a prediction show where obviously myself, Soul, and of course the boss Ben will be on, and obviously giving our thoughts on the show and what we could be expecting. We're going to be doing a little vlog of the event as well. It's going to be live, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So looking very forward to that. So, do you got any upcoming interview shows on?
I might have something in relating with Cardiff coming up tomorrow. So
Ooh, Nani?
let's have
Okay.
we'll keep in anticipation. We'll see.
Okay. So yeah, if it does happen, please be sure to go check us out at Wrestling Republic on Instagram. I'm sure it will pop up there somewhere. And also follow at the Soul Sessions on Instagram as well. But oh gosh, is he gone?
He's gone.
That's it. He's dropped the mic and just went. Oh dear. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, on that note, we've come to the end of the show anyway. So thank you very much, Ignacio, for joining us on the show as always. And yeah, well, I'm sure Soul says thank you to everyone as well. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Republic and at official_TITTT. That is all the links for Instagram. I have been your host, Chaos. He has been Ignacio. Until next time, peace.